you will be feeding this AI the database. So if you want it to be a nerd like you, if you want it to only quote Shakespeare and cook you eggs, it'll do that, whether it's a ChatGPT girlfriend or ChatGPT boyfriend. So that is, to me, the scary part about it, is it could be even better. What's up, everybody? Today on Universal Theory, we're going to be talking about ChatGPT. We're going to be talking about what ChatGPT is fundamentally, and then apply some of the principles and maybe get a little crazy with what we think ChatGPT 5 could be in the future. Now, you've already seen that parody, hopefully. If you haven't, I'll try to remember to link it above. We've already seen ChatGPT 5. The future is scary. I promise you that. It's way scarier than Terminator or any of these other movies out here right now. But ChatGPT 4, it's called that because it's the fourth iteration, right? It's model 4 that we're on. And essentially what ChatGPT is, if you don't already know, is it's a large language model that's human. There's human feedback associated with it. So in this, essentially, there's a large set of data that's fed to ChatGPT. It looks throughout the internet, it scours the internet, it scours social media, and that's what it's fed. So when you ask it a question, all it does is look for the probability of the next word. So if you ask what color is the sun, it's looking for the sun color, right? And then what is the most probable word that comes next, right? So of course everybody knows the sun is blue. So blue would be blue. No, obviously the sun's not blue. But yeah, so that's how it works. And then it gets the human feedback part is simply when you're training a machine learning algorithm such as ChatGPT, you can give human feedback. It can say, the sun is blue, and you would say 0%. The sun is orange, okay, 90%. The sun is yellow, 90%. The sun is purple, 0%. So you're training it based on its answer. That's kind of what the fear is too, is that we're building AIs based off of what we want the AI to say. Obviously, for ChatGPT, that's perfect. It has its lane. But for something like what Stephen Wolfram is doing, it's much different. It's like we want the machine to come up with its own process. We want its answers to surprise us, not we want the most obvious answer. So those are kind of these different types, right? There's battling AI, and it all isn't supposed to be the same. Sometimes we just want to get to answers quicker. That's ChatGPT. Sometimes we want to understand something more fundamentally. That's what the Wolfram research is working on right now as we speak. If you haven't seen the Stephen Wolfram stuff, I highly, highly recommend it. He is very learned on things like ChatGPT because he has his own AI. One more quick little tidbit, the difference between like AI and machine learning, I've been kind of using them interchangeably. And a machine learning algorithm, right, that's like face recognition. That's like, I'm looking for something and is it a face? Yes or no? Human, tell me if it's a face, yes or no, right? Like I was just talking about that human feedback. And then AIs has neural nets where it starts to incorporate all of these different kind of machine learning algorithms into one neural net. So now it's multiple kind of machine learning algorithms all compiled into one. And obviously we're going to get into the principles and how they apply, but that's the fundamentals of ChatGPT.
Yeah, ChatGPT is an amazing platform if you want to like build a business.
Yes.
Or you want it to help you with coding, or you want a girlfriend. We just seen a guy, he made multiple girlfriends via ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's on GitHub, right? He has his code repositories on GitHub. So if you know what that is, which I do because I use it for work, it's just a code repository. You can go check it out. You're building essentially, right, girlfriend GPT, which is GGPT. And what's happening with GGPT is you're just asking it questions. I don't know how it could be much different than ChatGPT, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know how that's any different.
I don't know. I haven't tried it out. I'm lonely enough, but not lonely enough to get a computerized girlfriend. No offense to anyone that has or wants to get a computerized girlfriend, because I'm sure that the technology that we're developing now is going to lead to that in the future.
Oh yeah,
where you're going to be able to have a ChatGPT like robot in your home that is your spouse.
Oh, no
potentially.
question. There's no question because look, you're feeding, like I said, there's different types of AI. The AI that is human feedback, the AI where you control the parameters and you tell it, you want it to act a certain way. And you just say 90% of the time, I want you to be happy. 10% of the time, I want you to be whatever. So there's still some, it's still spruced up, but you will know what you're coming home to and you'll feed it. You will be feeding this AI the database. So if you want it to be a nerd like you, if you want it to only quote Shakespeare and cook you eggs, it'll do that, whether it's a ChatGPT girlfriend or ChatGPT boyfriend. So that is, to me, the scary part about it is it could be even better because now it's an echo chamber with your partner. And all an echo chamber is an echo chamber, it echoes. So it gives you back what you put into it. So there is no opposing opinions ever. It's just, hey, this is what I want to do. ChatGPT boyfriend or girlfriend would say, oh, I want to do that too. Oh, this is what I want. This is what I want for whatever. Oh, I would get you that. So we have to be careful with that. But there's no doubt in my mind that is going to be huge. You'll never have an argument. You'll never disagree. And if you do, you can just go into the database, go into the human feedback, open up her back or open up his back and put in there, or however you're going to do it through Bluetooth, this was the response to this question. I'm sure it'll all be logged, right? This was the response to this question. This is the response I would have preferred. Reboot. It'll be that easy.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy sounds like the spokesman for...
Yeah, I should sell them. In the next 10 years, I'm going to sell these things.
Yeah, can we get sponsored by some new age robotic company that supports humans dating robots? We got our spokesman over here.
Well, I already use ChatGPT daily because I do use it for work. So ChatGPT is like my coworker. He's like the person in class that like knows all the answers, but that's all they do. So you're like, what's up, dude? Hey, I had a tough time on this homework problem. They're like, really? It's 17,900 trillion, 900 million. And you're like, oh, cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Talk to you later.
Oh,
That's
man.
what ChatGPT is to me, So I'll be like, hey, how do I get this out of the business intelligence? Blah, 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 blah. And it's wrong a lot of the times. But that's what ChatGPT is, it's still learning and it's not supposed to be thinking philosophically. It's just supposed to be scouring the, Stack Overflow and some of these other websites where I could go out and just read the answer. It's just kicking it back to me. So it just makes my life a little bit easier.
Yeah. And that's what it was created for, essentially, or at least one of the agendas. I mean, who knows, all the other plethora of agendas that could be out there, in the minds of the people that created ChatGPT and things like it. But it can assist humans in their everyday lives. Like I said, you could write a book with it. You could do research with it. If you're a kid, you could do your homework with it. I'm not saying you should do that, but you could.
90% of the populace is already doing that.
Yeah.
So we're safe.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, how many teachers are older and they may not have, be familiar with the technology, and the kids are like, all of a sudden they're just getting great grades because their homework is just superb.
Yeah, but they're failing the test.
But
what is going on? Johnny, you got 100% on every homework, but you failed the test.
Yes.
Well, that was already kind of a problem, right? With like Chegg, and there's these other online forums where people will basically do your homework for you, but you pay a subscription fee. And I know that I leaned on some of those in some of my later physics years. Now, I didn't abuse it. You can go on there and you can copy answers. You can turn in homework. You're not going to pass college that way. You might get away with it in high school, but in college, you're not going to make it very far. But if I got stuck on something, I used it what I felt was appropriately. If you get stuck on a problem, that's when you go to something like ChatGPT and you say, hey, for the part where I need to take a partial derivative for this heat equation, what do I, and then you just ask that specific step. But that's not what people do. Right? People are like, here's the question. What's the answer? Give me every step in between.
Yeah.
And that could lead to some philosophical issues as, do we even need degrees anymore? Computers can do it. Right? We've talked about some of this. Should we be generalists? Is there anything out there, like, should we be using ChatGPT as a tool to graduate? Because it's going to be a tool in the workplace. I use it at work and it's encouraged. It's not like, Trent, don't be more efficient. You're cheating at work. It's like, no, Trent, get this project done. Oh, you can do it faster now? Well, now you got to do two. You know what I mean? It's like, now do two projects. So for me, the moral dilemma comes where, are we working our minds? Do we rely on technology to the point where we're not working our minds? Or are we still able to read? Are we still able to have a debate, a conversation, instead of having an echo chamber where it's always, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, this is what you want, oh, this is what you like. That's the fear.
Yeah.
Right? In my mind. It's not Terminator. Not yet, right?
Yeah.
Those aren't the fears that I see in the future. It's just a dumb society.
Yeah. Yeah, a lazy society.
That's a better way to put it, yeah.
Yes.